So hello everyone and welcome to this video. So I was recently challenged by Alok, a long-time GeoGuessr community member and content creator. I will leave his channel in the description below, to name as many cities in Europe as I can in 1 hour. I unfortunately wasn't able to record this live with voice, so I'm gonna try to do a voiceover. Hopefully it goes fine. So the record is currently 573 by GeoGuessr tourists. This is before any of the newly challenged players had taken their turn to attempt this challenge. I've done absolutely no preparation, but I'm still expecting to beat that. That would be my current goal. So without further ado, let's see how this goes. First, let's start the timer. I'm gonna start with capitals: Madrid, Lisbon, London, Dublin, Reykjavik. What else? Let's go down: Paris, or Paris in French, Brussels, Luxembourg, Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Oslo, Tórshavn, Helsinki, Moscow, St. Petersburg, Istanbul, Sofia, Rome, San Marino, Vatican City, Monaco, Bern, Ljubljana. I mistyped that and I didn't realize. You'll see the consequences at the end of the video. Athens, Skopje, Belgrade, Bucharest, Chisinau, Kyiv, Minsk, Vilnius, Riga. What else we have in the Baltics? Tallinn. Spell it correctly, please. Warsaw. Let's see what we have in Central Europe. Bratislava, Budapest. Some Balkan stuff too. Zagreb, Sarajevo, Podgorica, Tirana, Pristina. So I think I'm done with the capitals, although as you can see I've missed some. I've missed Cyprus and Slovenia. Okay, I also missed Liechtenstein, Vaduz, Vienna. I forgot too. Some of them I just don't think about, like I said before. Let's go to Spain. Vigo in Galicia, Moaña, Pontevedra, Monforte de Lemos, Sarriá, Villalba, Lugo, Santiago de Compostela, La Coruña. What else do we have in Galicia? Verín, Ourense, Ferrol, Ribadeo. Let's go to Asturias. Villaxilde, well, that's in Galicia too, but it's too small. Gomesende, too small too. Now I think I'm going to go to Asturias. Cangas de Onís, Oviedo, Gijón, Avilés, Loanco, Loarca, well, that's too small probably, Langreo, Grado, what else do we have there? Villaviciosa, Ribadesella, going east now, Llanes, Santander, Torrelavega, Reynosa, Tropezón, well, that's probably just a football team, not a village. Laredo, that does exist. Let's go to Basque Bilbao, Guecho, Portugalete, Baracaldo, Leioa, Amorebieta, Guernica, what else there? Bedrur, Sestao, Amurio, we are going down to Álava, Llodio, Vitoria, Gasteiz, Bermeo by the coast, Hondarribia by the French border on the coast, Irún next to it too, Tolosa, San Sebastián, or Donostia, Renteria. What else do we have in the Basque Country? Do I remember anything else? Ollón is a small village in La Rioja Alavesa. Let's go to Navarra, Pamplona, Tudela, Estella, Anguiano, that's in La Rioja, Aro, Logroño, Moncayo, well, I think that's just a mountain area, or just like a region, so that doesn't count. Sariñena, that's in Aragon. Huesca, let's see what we have in Aragon. Sabiñánigo, Vielia, that's in Catalonia. Egea, de los Caballeros. Astun, well, that's a ski resort, same as Formigal, those don't register apparently. Formigosa, I invented that, but it showed up somewhere. You'll see at the end. Teruel, Zaragoza, Belchite, Caspe, Fraga, no Fraga, Baqueira, well, that's also a ski resort. It's in Catalonia too. Calamocha, that's in Teruel. Tarazona, in Zaragoza. Orihuela del Tremedal, in Teruel too. Albarracín, León, Puebla de Sanabria, Sagún, Zamora, Toro. Let's see what we have in Zamora. Benavente, Palencia, Medina de Pomar in Burgos, Aguilar de Campo in Palencia, Tordesillas in Valladolid, Valladolid itself, Burgos, Briviesca, Miranda de Ebro by the Basque border, Aranda de Duero, more south. I thought I mistyped that, but it wasn't true. Medina del Campo in Valladolid. Treviño, that's that exclave within the Basque Country, but it didn't count. Sordia. Arcos de Jalón in Sordia too. What should I do now? Salamanca, going more west. Guijuelo. Béjar in the mountains. Arévalo in Avila itself. Segovia. Pedraza, small village I've been to on a school trip. Barcelona, going to Catalonia now. Lleida. Girona. Tarragona. Tortosa. Reus. Olot. Salou. Castelldefels. Defels, I think. Villafranca del Penedès. Sabadell. Cerdañola del Vallès. Manresa. Tarrasa. Well, I don't know, I misspelled that, I think. Figueras, closer to France. Badalona. L'Hospitalet de Llobregat. Cornellà de Llobregat, that doesn't count somehow. I should have said de Llobregat there. Mollerussa, that does count, and I don't know how, because I don't remember that. Guichols, I was already entering things that don't exist, apparently. Arenis, I should have typed Demar, I forgot that. Berga, yeah. Seu d'Urgell, that didn't register, but I can say that it exists, definitely. Bosost, closer to France. Let's go to Andorra. Andorra la Vella. Gibeah is the exclave there in France. Canfranc is the French border. Ordino in Andorra. Chicharella in Andorra too. That didn't count, supposedly. Let's go more south. I forgot about everything else in Catalonia. Castellón, Morella, Benicàssim. Let's go to Valencia. Villarreal. That didn't count. I should have typed Villarreal. Sagunto. Villena. Xàtiva. Valencia. Torrent. Albufera. Perellonet. Small places I've been to in the beach. Buñol. I typed Perellonet again. It didn't work. Requena. Tormo. Well, I was thinking about the racing track in Valencia, and somehow it is also a village somewhere else. I'll discover that later, probably. Oliva, Sueca, more south in Valencia. Gandia. Calpe. Hotels by the coast. Javea. Denia. Benidorm. Orihuela. That's more south. but I typed it anyway. Alicante, San Vicente de Raspage. Somehow I first typed it wrong, but it still didn't come up. They consider it a suburb of Alicante, probably. Elche, Elda, Alcoy. I think I'm gonna move to Murcia now. So Murcia itself, Cartagena, Torre Pacheco, Yecla, Caravaca de la Cruz, Lorca, Águilas, La Manga, Del Mar Menor. Let's go to Extremadura, Cáceres, Ciudad Rodrigo, that's in Salamanca by the Portuguese border, but I forgot it. Plasencia. What else in Extremadura? Mérida. I don't know many because I've never been there. Don Benito. Valencia de Alcántara by the Portuguese border. Badajoz. Olivenza, which used to be Portuguese before. Villanueva de la Serena. Cordia. I think I'm going to Castilla-La Mancha, Toledo. Talavera. That didn't count. I should have written Talavera de la Reina, but I didn't notice that. Ocaña, Villa Cañas. Aranjuez in Madrid, but close to Toledo. Mora, Illescas, Los Llévenes. Let me type that. Casarubios. This time I remembered and I typed Casarubios del Monte. Casarubuelos in Madrid. Madridejos. Tarancón in Cuenca. Cuenca itself. Guadalajara. Huete, that's a small village in Cuenca. Sacedón. Alovera, this is all Guadalajara. Azuqueca de Henares. Sigüenza. Quintanar del Rey in Cuenca. There's also Quintanar de la Orden in Toledo. Motilla del Palancar in Cuenca too. Ciudad Real, let's go more southwest. 42 minutes left. Puerto Llano. Valdepeñas, let's do Ciudad Real province, I know well. Manzanares. Argamasilla de Alba, that's a small town by Manzanares. Consuegra in Toledo, but I forgot. Hinojosa del Duque, well, I mistyped that. That's actually in Córdoba, but I still wanted to type it. I also tried Hinojosa del Monte because it sounded familiar, but it apparently doesn't exist. Membrilla, Almagro, Villarrubia de los Ojos, Daimiel, Almuradiel by the Andalusian border, Santa Elena is the other side, Terrinches, Socuéllamos, Tomelloso, Villarrobledo, let's see what should I do now. I think I've done all Ciudad Real. Well, I missed Alcázar de San Juan, which is important, and I also mistyped it. Also Campo de Criptana, I've been to too. Albacete, I'm going more east now. La Roda, La Jineta, Pedroñeras in Cuenca, but somehow I should have typed Las Pedroñeras, I think. Ellín, Borox. Let's see what else do I know in Albacete province. Almansa, closer to Valencia. Casas Ibáñez, I mistyped that, I wrote Casa, and I didn't notice that. Going to Balearics, Alcudia, Palma, Mahón in Menorca, Inca, Manacor, all in Mallorca, Ciutadella de Menorca, Ibiza, Pujols, well that didn't come up, it should be Espujols in Formentera, but I forgot the article. Going to Andalusia, Huelva, Isla Cristina, Lepe, Aracena in the west, all of these are close to Portugal. Matalascañas in the Doñana National Park, Cádiz, Jerez de la Frontera, Arcos de la Frontera, San Fernando, Puerto de Santa María. I wrote Santa Maria just if something else comes up, and it did. Sevilla, obviously, Dos Hermanas, Algeciras, Tarifa, that's closer to Morocco. Let's go up the coast, Estepona, Antequera, that's interior but still in Malaga, Ronda, that's also interior, Marbella, Fuengirola, going by the coast now, Malaga itself, Lora del Rio, going by Sevilla, Palos de la Frontera I already wrote, no I didn't, I wrote Arcos de la Frontera, Coria del Rio, also close to Sevilla, Écija, between Sevilla and Córdoba, Córdoba, Montoro, Pozo Blanco, Lucena, also in Córdoba, Jaén, Morist, Linares, Úbeda, Baeza, Granada, Baza, Motril on the Granada coast, Almuñécar too, Almería, El Ejido, something else there, I don't remember much else, Gata, that's actually a cave, but I wrote it also Palos because it's a cave, but something else came up. 36 minutes left. Well, at this point I was already thinking of going Portugal, But instead I forgot that I missed the Canary Islands, Las Palmas, Tenerife or Santa Cruz de Tenerife, San Cristóbal de la Laguna, Arrecife, Teguise, that's all in Lanzarote, Pájara in Fuerteventura, Telde, La Palma, and I couldn't remember more. So I went to Madrid area, Pinto, Parla, Getafe, Alcorcón, Móstoles, Fuenlabrada, Valdemoro, Leganés. I thought I didn't type Móstoles somehow. Arganda del Rey. I should have also typed Rivas Vacia Madrid, but I forgot. Fuentidueña del Tajo. Somehow I must have written that wrong. I just wrote Fuentidueña, and that registered. Maybe somewhere else. Boadilla del Monte. Let's go more west. Las Rozas. Majadahonda. Going more north now. Well, actually, I changed there and I went more east. Alcobendas, San Sebastián de los Reyes. I didn't write it either, so that one didn't register. As you can see, I could have got much more if they registered. Tres Cantos, Colmenar Viejo. Going more north, Collado Villalba, that's already close to the mountains. El Escorial, that one is famous. Navalcarnero in the south that I forgot before. Torrelodones, northwest. Galapagar, Alpedrete, Algete, El Molar, these are all northern. Guadalix de la Sierra, San Martín de Valdeiglesias in the west, Somosierra, that didn't count, maybe it's too small. Hoyo de Manzanares, Villanueva de la Cañada, Arroyo Molinos, so I'm gonna start in Portugal now. Guarda on the border, Setúbal, Porto, Vila Nova de Gaia, also by Porto, Albufeira in the south, Vagos, Faro, all of them in the south coast, Tundela, I don't know where it is, but it sounds like a familiar name, Viseu, Mangualde, Cerro de Beira, that one didn't count, but I don't worry because that place I just don't want it to appear, I don't really like to remember it. Valença, Chaves, Braga, Guimarães, Fátima, Santarém, all central towns, Cascais by Lisbon, Peniche of the coast, Nazaré, Figueira da Foz, also on the coast. I Missed some towns there. Beja, Évora, Castelo Branco, southern interior towns. Pinhal, I thought it existed, but apparently it doesn't. I should have also included places around Lisbon like Amadora or Sintra. Also, Lages, that's an area of Lisbon, apparently, not an independent town. Coimbra. So that's all I can remember from Portugal. We have 355 cities and we have half an hour left. So let's go to the UK. I'll start around London, Luton, St Albans, Watford, Croydon, Braintree in Essex, Guildford in Surrey, Rotherham, that's not in London, but I still decided to put it, Brighton on the coast, Maidstone, Grays, all of them in Kent, Margate too, Canterbury, what else I can remember around London, or should I go somewhere else? I was thinking at that time. So I went to Bishop Stortford, which is on the way to the Stansted Airport, Crawley by the Gatwick Airport too, Norwich, Colchester, so this is in Anglia, East Anglia, Burnham on Crouch, I remember that from GeoWizard, Ipswich, Cambridge, also in East Anglia, all of those, Oxford, Wycombe, I meant High Wycombe there, Aylesbury, I think that's Buckinghamshire, but I forgot, Andover, we are moving west now, Reading, Basingstoke, sorry, Southampton, Portsmouth, Bournemouth, South Coast, Yeovil, we're moving west now, Taunton, Bristol, of course, Bath, Swindon, Hereford, Plymouth, Exeter, St Ives in Cornwall, St David's in Wales. I forgot about Penzance and some other Cornish towns, but that's still fine. I've never been there. Northampton, going into the Midlands now. Leicester, Nottingham, Derby. I wrote Leeds too, but I realized that. Leeds, Sheffield, going north now. York, Boston, Lincoln, Skegness, Lincolnshire, all of them. Great Yarmouth, also in Norfolk, I think. Hull, Birmingham, I can't forget that one. Around it we have West Bromwich. I know that because of the football. Also Wolverhampton. I wrote it with a W by accident. We also had some Solihull and also Walsall, but I forgot it. Also Aldwych, I forgot. Sorry, GeoWizard. Nuneaton, Coventry, Oswestry. That's where the mission across Wales started. Warwick, That's where Warwick University is, and also there's a castle there. Cardiff, Swansea, going into Wales, Newport, Aberystwyth. Somehow I typed that wrong. Liverpool, I gave up on Wales because that's not my strength. Stratford, Stamford, Stoke-on-Trent, Manchester, I can't forget that one. Bury, Oldham, Boston I already had, I think. I meant Bolton this time. Blackburn, so Wigan, I should have wrote Preston too, but I forgot. Darwin, I meant Kendal there, in Lancashire. Also Lancaster, obviously. Blackpool, Morecambe, all seaside towns. Shrewsbury, close to Wales, I think. What else do we have? Carlisle, on the border with Scotland. Gretna Green is the other side, but somehow it didn't register. Newcastle, I should have written Newcastle underlined too, but I forgot. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, all up in the northeast. Edinburgh, going up in Scotland now. Glasgow, Livingston, Dunfermline, I think. Dundee, Stirling, Dumfries, I forgot Ayr there. Gara Shields, I remember from something, I don't know from where, but it somehow appeared in my head there. It's really small. Arbroath, same with that one. Aberdeen, more to the north. Also Inverness. I forgot the Shetlands and the Orkneys, so that I gave up on that. Then Newry and Belfast in Northern Ireland, I should have remembered more there. Also Derry. Going into Ireland, I had Waterford, Limerick, Drogheda, Galway, Cork. What else? I forgot about Sligo and Wexford, amongst others. I somehow remembered Carrick-on-Shannon. 22 minutes, I think that said. So I'm going into France. Bordeaux, Toulouse. I somehow entered that already. I don't know. Carcassonne, Narbonne. All places I've been to. Perpignan, Pau, Tarbes, Angoulême, all southern and southwestern. Nîmes, more in the southeast. Montpellier, Avignon, Arles, what else in that area? Marseille, Menton, Nice, Monaco, I already wrote before. What else do we have in the Riviera? Also Cannes, Grenoble, going north now to the Alps, Lyon, Montélimar, Clermont, Ferrand, Genève in Switzerland, but close to France. What else do we have in France? Bourges, Brive-la-Gaillarde. That one didn't register at first. Brive did register. Limoges, La Rochelle, Bayonne, Biarritz, that's close to the Basque Country, Saint-Jean-de-Luz, Saint-Jean-de-Luz, I meant, Nantes, Brest. I forgot that it's also a city in Belarus and I didn't know how to type the French one. Rennes, Versailles, Saint-Denis, that's close to Paris, Saint-Malo, Saint-Lô, Mont-Saint-Michel, somehow that didn't register, even though it's a famous place, Fleur, Angers, Bourges, I already wrote, Besançon, Reims, Dijon, that's more east, I forgot about Metz and Nancy, Valenciennes, sorry, Valenciennes, I think, Tourcoing, Lille, I wrote before, Bastogne, that's in Belgium, Roubaix, close to Belgium too, Dunkirk, Strasbourg, closer to Germany. I forgot many towns, especially in the north, but Calais, and I had forgotten Dover before somehow. So going into my last familiar territory now, Ukraine, Lutsk, Lviv, Ivano-Frankivsk, Odessa, Ternopil, Chernivtsi, Uzhhorod, Morshin. That one didn't register, that's where the water brand is from. The main one, I think. Pereyaslav, I think there is Pereyaslav Khmelnytsky, but I didn't type Khmelnytsky because, as you can see now, it doesn't register. I just couldn't do it. Vinica, Vinica, better. These names are just so hard to write in Latin. I already had Chernivtsi, Zhytomyr, Uman, Smila, central towns now, Bila Tserkva, Borispil, that's the airport in Kiev, Chernigov in the north, Shostka, also in the north, Sumy, Akhtirka, that didn't register, Cherkasy, Poltava, going more east now, Dnipro, Energodar, Melitopol, Zaporizhia. Somehow that didn't go as I thought it would go. I tried first the Russian name. Sorry about that, but I'm more familiar with it because I lived before the revolution there. Kherson, Mykolaiv, Podilsk in Odessa Oblast, Voznesensk, also in the south. What else do we have? Kryvyi Rih, Donetsk, Luhansk, Gorlivka, also close to Donetsk, In Crimea we have Sevastopol, Simferopol, Yalta, Feodosia, Tamань on the Russian side, Kerch, Mariupol, Kharkiv, what else do we have in Ukraine? Yuzhny, also close to Odessa. Let's see if I can remember. Reni, Volgrad, those are in the south. Izmail, close to Romania. Bilgorod-Dnestrovsky, or Bilgorod-Dnistrovsky. I just confused the Russian and the Ukrainian names, sorry. In Russian it's Belgorod-Dnestrovsky, and in Ukrainian it's Bilgorod-Dnistrovsky. Shabo, but it didn't register the other one before. Ovidiopol, close to Odessa or Odessa, all of those. Going into Moldova, we have Bender, or Benderi, Tiraspol too, in Transnistria, Komrat, that's the capital of Gagauzia. 14 minutes left now, so I have to do the rest of Europe. I'm going to start with Italy, Milano, Bergamo, Novara, Padua, Mantua, Torino, Como on the lake, Locarno, that's in Switzerland, I think, Genova, Sanremo, La Spezia, that's on the Ligurian coast, Prato by Florence, Venice, Udine, Osopo, I wrote that wrong, I think it's with two P's, Trento, Bolzano, Trieste, Gorizia by the Slovenian border, San Marino I already wrote, I think, we had Pescara, Livorno, Grosseto, Florence, I forgot, or Firenze in Italian, Pisa, I forgot Siena too, Terni, Bologna, Reggio Emilia, Reggio Calabria too in the south, Sorrento on the Amalfi Coast, Capri, what else do you have? Torrento I just invented, Naples, or Napoli, Bari, Lecce, Otranto, all of them in Puglia, Taranto, Cosenza, Messina, Catania, Palermo, Trapani, Siracusa, Agrigento, Porto Empedocle. I know so many places in Sicily because of watching series. Sassari, this is in Sardinia, Olbia, Cagliari too, going into Corsica, Bastia, or Bastia, and Ajaccio, going in Germany, Leipzig, Dresden. We have 11 minutes left. What else do we have? Düsseldorf, Bremen, Dortmund, Essen, Bochum, Köln or Cologne, Bonn, Hamburg, Kiel, Frankfurt am Main, Mannheim, I think it's with two N's, Sisheim, well, I think that exists, but I think I didn't consider the double S there. Freiburg, Augsburg, Freiburg worked there, Aachen, Trier. Also, we had Saarbrücken by the French border, but I forgot about it. Wolfsburg, remembering football clubs now because I don't know much in Germany. Nuremberg, not much of it is in Geo, so that makes sense. München, I couldn't think of more in Germany, so I went to Benelux now. In Breda, then Namur, Ghent, these are in Belgium, Antwerp or Antwerpen, Bruges or Brugge, Nivelles. I couldn't remember more in Belgium, so I went to the Netherlands with Haarlem, Den Haag, Rotterdam, Leeuwarden, Groningen. Those are in the north. I wrote Breda again, but I forgot that I had it. Venlo, Eindhoven in the south, Utrecht, 's-Hertogenbosch or Den Bosch. So we had Maastricht, Enschede, Arnhem too. In Denmark we have Aalborg, Aarhus, Vejle, Roskilde, Esbjerg, Odense. In Sweden we have Malmö, Lund, Norrköping, Nyköping, Linköping, Örebro, Solna by Stockholm, Karlstad. I wrote Linköping again, and I realized that I already had it. I went to Göteborg, Uppsala, Sundsvall, going north now. I had to scroll there. Umeå, Luleå, Boden, Östersund, Haparanda on the border with Finland, Kiruna, in Norway we have Stavanger, Drammen, Hamar, I forgot Kristiansand. Also you have Trondheim, Narvik, I also forgot Tromsø, Alta, Kirkenes, and I noticed I had just under 6 minutes left. So Moirana. There's also Białystok, Kraków, Poznań, Katowice, Gliwice, that's in Sław, Tarnów, Kielce, Radom. Hello Radox if you're watching. Gdansk, Gdynia, Hel, Szczecin. I couldn't type that though. Gorzów Wielkopolski in the west. Lutz, Hedge, Wrocław, Wrocław, I don't know how you say it. In Finland we have Tampere, Pori, Espoo, Amelina, I couldn't type that somehow. Kajiani, Ulu, Vasa, Tornio on the other side of Haparanda, Rovaniemi in the north. We also had Kumo, in Estonia we have Parnu, Tartu, Narva, Voru, Kuressaare on the island of Saaremaa. In Latvia we have Kuldiga, Tukums, Rezekne, Madona, Cēsis, Daugavpils, Jēkabpils, Ogre. Most people like to call it Ogre. In Lithuania we have Kaunas, Klaipėda, Marijampolė, also Panevėžys, and Tauragė. We also have Kaliningrad, Pinsk, Grodno in Belarus, also Gomel, Rečica, Vitebsk, Borisov. In Austria we have Linz, Graz, Innsbruck, Salzburg. In Czechia we have České Budějovice, Mladá Boleslav, Pilsen, Brno, Pardubice, Karlovy Vary, 2 minutes. Hradec Králové. Going to Slovakia we have Nitra, Žilina, that didn't register, I don't know, Kosice, Prešov. In Hungary we have Gyula, Debrecen. What else do we have in Hungary? Zolnok. I don't want to type long names. Pax, Pex, those are short, so that's fine. In Romania you have Giurgiu on the border with Bulgaria, on the other side it's Ruze. Varna on the Black Sea. Also Burgas, Plovdiv in the middle of the country, Dobrich in the northeast, Blagoevgrad in the west, Strumica in Serbia we have Niš, Vranje, Kraljevo, What else we have? Ruse already typed. I was panicking at that point already. Silistra in Bulgaria too. Patra in Greece. Thessaloniki. Sparta. Subotica in Serbia. Novi Sad. Split in Croatia. Mostar in Bosnia. Banja Luka there too. Zadar in Croatia. Sibernik. That didn't count. Somehow Rijeka. Shkoder in Albania. Dores. Vlora. Berat. I went to Romania to type Cluj or Cluj, but the timer had already expired. So let's see how we did. We got 759 European cities, although after checking the recording, I realized that Cluj was typed after the timer ended, and I didn't realize that because I didn't get a notification. I should use a different timer next time, but that should be subtracted, so in reality this has to be 758 European cities, and that's still brilliant. It is better than the previous record, the 573 I believe by GeoGuessr Tourist, so I'm quite happy. Although recently, this is filmed after I did the actual challenge, Wolf Tracker got something like 846, I believe, which is better than me, and I just can say congrats to him. He just did excellently. I couldn't beat that, but I'm still happy with my result. It's also 28.56% of the European population, urban population, I mean, which is kind of in the average of what I've been seeing by the other contestants recently, which is also quite good. So let's see the stats. I had the big cities, as I said, I had the biggest 5 cities here. Let's see the smallest one. We have Tormo, which is the one that I thought about being the circuit for racing in Valencia, and it's actually a town in Italy with a population of 66. Interesting. Fuentidueña, I typed instead of Fuentidueña del Tajo. This one should be something else. Also, I typed Paros because of the Cape in Spain, and it's actually Paros in Romania with 315 people. The fourth one is the only one of the top 5 that I've visited. This one was on a school trip, and it's in Segovia, I think. It has a nice castle, less than 500 population though. These two I knew about, as well as this one. Okay, Formigosa was actually a town in Italy. I also randomly typed that. Number 9 I've been to too, as I said before. And these others, most of them I recognized. Gata was actually also a mistype. It was also the cave, but it's actually a town too. So most of them in Spain, some random times in Italy and Romania. We have Vatican City and also St. David's in Wales. I actually mentioned that because it's like the westernmost point in Wales, so I remembered it. Let's see the best countries. This is not surprising that most of them were in Spain, which is the country I'm from, so it makes sense that I know most of them. I could have done better though, especially with some suburbs of Madrid that I missed, like Torrejón de Ardoz or Alcalá de Henares or San Fernando de Henares or Coslada. I'm a bit ashamed there. I could also be doing better in Catalonia, but some of the names I mistyped, like Tarrasa, also Arenis de Mar. I mistyped many in Spain. I could have got like 10 cities more there, I think. 97 in the UK. That makes sense because first I lived there for a year, I studied there, and second I follow a lot of football, and that includes like the lower categories in England. So some of the places I memorized because of that, especially in this area, which I don't really know in real life. In the south, I do know more places. Then France, it's just that I studied French before, and I also been a lot in the south of France, also around here too. Italy, I just remembered many names from playing the game. And then last but not least of the top five, I have Ukraine, which I also lived for 6 years. And I remembered many towns, but some of them I just mistyped, and others I completely forgot. For example, I forgot Kropivnitsky here. That's an example, or Rivne, but still that's decent because I haven't lived there since I was 6. And then Portugal I visited before. Germany I just know some big towns. Same with Sweden. Poland I've been to too, and I also know some big towns. And finally, Netherlands, I know a lot of towns too because it's really densely populated. This is not really surprising. Let's see, what did I miss? That's what I want to know. I missed Slovenia, which is why I said the Ljubljana mistype was important because I forgot to write it later and actually I didn't get any city in Slovenia. Malta I just forgot about, it didn't come to my head. Cyprus I just didn't think it was in Europe and it also didn't come to my head. And yeah, the three capitals of these countries, I had Ljubljana but I had an I here instead of a J, which is the reason why I didn't get it. Also I couldn't get many towns in Switzerland or in Romania. Let's see how I did here. Romania I didn't have time to develop a lot of guesses here. Same with Greece, I could have done better, but I didn't have time for that. Also Switzerland I also forgot because I didn't have time. I also got some, I only got, I mean, some smaller towns on the borders like, and also Geneva and Bern because the Geneva because I was doing France and Bern because I was doing the capitals. And also I have to mention Iceland, but Iceland I was going to have like 2 or 3 more towns, so I don't worry much about it. And obviously Russia, I didn't have any time to do Russia. I could name easily like 20 cities here, but and some really big ones too. And I couldn't do that because of the time. So let's see the biggest cities that I missed. Most of them are in Russia, as you can see. Okay, there's Stuttgart in Germany, which is really a big miss for me. I should have got that, but somehow it disappeared from my head. Same with Hanover and Duisburg, but the rest are in Russia, as you can see. So pretty decent. I'm not gonna complain though. Sorry if I didn't do much in your country, especially if you're from the countries I just mentioned. Finally, for nominations, the first person I'm gonna nominate is Mr. Blue, who is a Dutch GeoGuessr YouTuber, also quite active in the Reddit League and other Reddit tournaments. And he also lives in Bulgaria, so it's gonna be quite interesting to see how many towns in the Netherlands, which is quite densely populated. You can easily get 200 towns here if you know them, I think. And also he might know more about the Balkans and Eastern Europe in general, and specifically Bulgaria. I want to see how that goes, if it's quite interesting, because I think it would be. I'm gonna leave his YouTube channel in the description too, as with the other people I nominate. Second, I'm gonna nominate GeoGuessr or GeoGuessr Russia, however you want to call him. And this is because he has done like a quiz or two on his YouTube channel, which also will also be in the description. And the main reason I'm gonna do that is first of all because I didn't have time to type in some Russian cities, so I think he would be able to type many of them because he is actually from Russia and lives in Russia, so he's gonna be able to know many of them. So somebody who will focus on Russia would be a good choice, especially taking into account that I haven't focused on this country too much because I didn't have time. And last but not least, I'm gonna nominate GeoPeter, who is a Latvian GeoGuessr YouTuber and streamer, and he recently did this same challenge but on the whole world. He named world cities and he did quite well. He also did quite well in Latvia. I'm really intrigued to see how many small towns he's able to mention in Latvia. He is also quite well traveled and has played the game regularly for like a year or so, so that's gonna be really interesting to see how he does and what strategies he uses. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, and see you next time. Bye.